Hello, Maeya TV. My name is Eligia, and I'm here with special guest who is a actor, producer, writer, director, and also pro athlete, Robert Gatewood. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm good.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, we're so happy to have you here because you have such a trajectory as an actor and artist, but also as a football player. So we want to get to know a little bit about you. So where did you grow up?
I grew up in a small country town in Ohio, actually called Montville, Ohio. My high school graduating class was about 56 students, so that give you an idea how small an area it was. And the junior high and high school was about a total of 600 students. So really small town, kind of like Andy Griffith, Andy Mayberry. Everybody knows everybody, so it was a great place to grow up. Winters were harsh. I didn't like the snow. But...
Yeah, you had seasons over there. So you originally didn't want to start acting, right? You originally were something else, right?
Oh no, I actually came to California. I was going to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I was not interested in being in film, but I tore an Achilles tendon, and then I snapped my other Achilles tendon when I was a free agent going around the NFL for a while. And that kind of blackballed me from the NFL, but my agent told me, don't worry, I'll get you something to do. I didn't know it was going to be in film. But he actually connected me with Samuel Warren, and he's involved with some casting agencies in San Diego. And I know the first time that he called me, he said to me, this is Samuel Warren. I want to see if you want to come down and be in this film. And my attitude was, yeah, right. Who is this? Samuel Warren. Oh, he's serious, So he got me involved. And then, after I did, I think it was a film called Break of Dawn about Eligia Gonzalez, story. But anyway, we did that, and then he said, you like that? I said, that's pretty cool. So he told me, well, if you move to L.A., I'll get you involved in a lot more film work. So I was still a free agent. I was still thinking I had a chance to connect with a couple of teams. And I had an agent who was trying to connect me with the 49ers, putting me with a quarterback up there. So I was ready to move up north. I didn't know it was going to be the L.A. area, but I ended up staying in the L.A. area and finally walked away from my dream, which was to win the Super Bowl.
But you did play. Who did you play for?
I went around the league as a free agent. I went to Denver, Dallas, Houston, had 3 letters to New England. And as a young idiot, I was going to go play where I wanted to play rather than go where the need was great, And I was being called to go to the Patriots. But, I wanted to be, on the West Coast. So. And as a free agent, you can make that kind of choice. But actually, if I came west, I could hit 3 or 4 camps rather than if I went to the Patriots, I'd be stuck in that one camp hoping I'd make that squad. And if I didn't, then I didn't have the opportunity to roll around as much, the weather difference and everything. So I came here and I decided I was going to, go for one of the teams on the western side of the country.
That's really impressive, and football is bigger than ever. So how did you think being a football player helped you as an actor?
Well, there's a lot of crashing
that
goes on in football. A lot of crashing, a lot of quick reaction.
And it's real, right?
It's
real.
A lot of quick reaction. But I got involved in stunt work first. And so it made it a lot easier for me because things felt like they were in slow motion compared to where I was coming from, And the first thing you notice when you step into the NFL, everything is so much faster. Everything happens in a blink of an eye. So coming into this was a lot slower paced and over and over and over again until you get it right, And so that was very easy for me. The scary part was working in stunt work. For example, we did a movie, The Last Boy Scout, where it was easy because I was being a football player, doing my thing. And I returned to kickoff in the Coliseum for a touchdown. Tony Scott was the director. But he was so excited about this, he turns around and he says, do it again. And so I ran another one back, and this one I got knocked out of bounds. So I almost scored again, about 70 yards, 80 yards the first time, 70 yards the second time. And then he turns around, chomping on a cigar, and he goes, do it again. Now, in a football game, there may be a penalty. I might have to return another kick. But, you're not going to get asked to do 3 in a row because the coach is going to grab somebody else and give me somebody else who's fresh and put them in there. But a movie director, he doesn't know that. He doesn't know how to watch your energy level and protect you in that way. So that's the scary part about doing stunt work. And then I had some friends that told me that you need to hang that up and get into serious acting. Didn't know if I wanted to do that or not. It felt kind of scary. It felt like memorizing too many lines and stuff. But you get used to knowing that you're just going to be yourself, regardless.
I do have a question on one of the films that I watched as a kid that you were in. It's a really popular film, Hook, right?
Oh.
So, and that goes along with you being a stuntman and doing action, but you actually had a really cool part in it. Can you tell me about your time on that film?
Well, I was originally hired to be one of Princess Tiger Lily's Indians. And Princess Tiger Lily was going to be Janet Jackson, Paula Abdul, or Lisa Bonet. And they couldn't work that out. So Steven brought me back and asked me to play one of the pirates. Now, while we were filming this, it was at Columbia Studios, which is now Sony Studios. But during the time that we were filming it, they had a big sword fight going on between all the pirates there. So they would bring out two big bamboo sticks, and all those. The pirates would go out and process elimination until we found out who was the best swordsman of all of them. So it came down to Oberon, calls himself the king of the pirates. He's actually a pirate from the Renaissance fair. And me, and so we end up battling it out. I won the whole thing, and Robin Williams and Dustin Hoffman, they nicknamed me the Flynn Pirate ever since. But it was pretty cool because it was on Julie Garland Avenue down there, and everybody that was filming, John Singleton, Boys in the Hood, and Cuba Gooding Jr., and everybody was running down there. John Stamos from, they were all running down there to see that last battle, and so it was pretty fun and got popular. And then years later, I was out of film for a while, and then I came back, and I was working on Animal Kingdom with the guys over there. And so we were talking about a film that I was working on. Somebody walked in and said something, and everybody got quiet. And I looked up, and they were looking, and I said, "What?" He goes, "That's the Flynn pirate from Hook." And I was like, "How did you know that?" And he told me that his nephew was Rufio, and he was there that day that we had that big fight going on. So that's how that nickname carried on, and then it just kept going, throughout the industry, and then people started to know me as Flynn Pirate.
Yeah, you're notorious. Maybe you should change your name on your IMDb. It's Flynn Pirate. Okay. You told me you were something to do with Star Trek, right? You were involved with something with that.
I played a Klingon with Captain Kirk, William Shatner, and Bones. The actor was there, Dr. McCoy. And I also have done Star Trek Enterprise with Scott Bakula and the guys. We did a game of lacrosse in the desert on location. And the thing about that is every time someone looks at my resume, Star Trek has a rule that you can't be in two different Star Treks unless there's a time warp or something to do with the episode.
Within the universe, yeah.
Right. Right. And then they look at my resume and say, "How is it you've been on two different Star Treks?" That's because they were taking advantage of my stunt ability,
It's really impressive. So that's like very, that's something only you can say, that I've been in I've played different characters. Okay. I want to ask you about Bucks of America. That's one of your upcoming projects, right? Can you tell me about your involvement in this film?
Very excited about Bucks of America. This is a very important history that we're all missing. We didn't get it in our history lessons in school. But if you take out your smart device and you do a Google check or just ask who were the Bucks of America, you'd be more intrigued to know as much as you can about this story. But I was searching something else. I was writing about a piece of history that had to do with Crispus Attucks and the Boston Massacre. And a friend of mine told me, "Hey, you should make a film about that." So I was researching that story, and I bumped into Bucks of America. And then my question is, who are these guys? And then as I started to search, I realized that no one had any information about them other than they were some type of military service operation that was happening in Boston right at the start of the war. And so as I started to research, somebody's got to know something. So I pulled a couple stunts in my research, and I ran into something that opened doors on a bunch of information. And it is so powerful. It's so intriguing and interesting to follow it. But you learn so much about what was going on during that time and about how these individuals could have been left out of the history, especially a couple of them were heroes at the Battle of Bunker Hill. So it was a crazy story. So it's gotten into me to the point where I feel like I got to tell you the story. You got to hear the story. So that's how it started. And I started with gathering all the research. So the film is 95% accurate in detail to the events that happened at that time. And it's been very exciting. So I've been covered about 8 different magazines, including France. You can find it in Influential People magazine. They did an 8-page spread about the story that I'm doing. And then a Hollywood Star in Paris magazine has done an article about me. They've interviewed me a couple of different times. And so it's popular in France and it's going worldwide, so it's been getting around. And so we shot the trailer and we won a bunch of awards. And my first time directing, won Best Director. And a lot of things like that were going on. But it's given me a lot of notoriety. And then a lot of other people I know started calling me and involving me in their films because of the fact that I had this historical piece and everybody. But I met Jane Fonda because of this film, and that was one of the most exciting things that happened. And somebody told me she wanted me down on her TV show, and somebody told me that her family is well connected into Revolutionary War in that time period. And so when I got to the set, she turned around and said, "Is he here? Oh, he's here!" And she was more excited to meet me than I was to meet her. And I was excited because that's Cat Ballou was one of my favorite films. So I was excited to meet her. But so that's what's been happening since I did this film. It's been gathering a lot of attention. And so I went from an opportunity to make a small independent film to suddenly knowing that there's enough interest here that I can make a big epic size, maybe miniseries, blockbuster. And we're also doing a documentary that's going to be a piece played on the History Channel in some places. So that a lot of people were asking me to put the documentary out before the film so that everyone knows that this isn't just some Hollywood-made film. The title sounds like that. Bucks of America sounds like it may be a Hollywood made-up name, but it's not. It's actually the title that these guys gave themselves. They were a black militia unit that was fighting just before the start of the Revolutionary War and the events leading up to the war. And then, like I said, a couple of them were heroes of Bunker Hill.
That's really amazing. It's gotten international recognition, so congratulations. And when can we expect it to come out?
Well, right now we had a couple of stops. We had the strike, and we're just glad that the strike's over right now. But and at the same time, we're garnering some of the A-list actors who realize that this is a very powerful piece to have on their portfolio. And most actors like that type of thing when they can portray a true historical figure. So those are the kind of drawbacks that we had, and now we're starting to gain steam again, and we're all looking forward to going back to work sometime in the spring and summer. We're looking to get started.
It's incredible, and it sounds like the type of film you could show in a class setting in the future, right? Because of the accuracy that you're putting into it.
Yeah. It that was important to me. That was one of the most important things about this discovery. So I feel privileged that I'm carrying an important story for these gentlemen who lived this incredible life and no one's told their story. So I feel privileged that I have that position, and I'm trying to best I can to take care of it and to honor them in a way that they should be, honored for the things that they lived through in their life.
That's cool. So your directorial debut, right? So that's really, really cool. Okay, so I do want to ask you that you were on a nomination committee as well, and what that led to.
2 years in a row. I was on the nomination committee. It's only supposed to happen. They pull names out of a hat from union actors. But I wound up on the nomination committee the 1 year, and then a friend of mine, she was watching some of the things I was posting, talking about being there, and she ended up getting pulled on the nomination committee. So she asked me to come with her. So you got to see maybe 30 films and less than a month and a half, so you're seeing a film almost all the time, but you're seeing it with the artists who are doing it. So the best thing about that is you get to know all of the A-list actors, and you get to know them well because they are looking to impress you to get your vote for the film. So that kind of changed things as far as being a little starstruck or seeing some people that wow, I don't know if I can even walk up and say hello. All of a sudden, you're all good friends, So I got to know a lot of people then. And then I found out by being on the nomination committee and listening to these directors and producers talking about how they got their film together, that it's not as complicated as we all think, especially with the high-tech tools that are available today. So that's when I really struck out. And then I had this great story that I needed to be told. And so yeah, I'm going to do the best I can to do it.
Yeah, and you got to meet some really cool people too, right, through that?
Yeah, and well, Julia Roberts, I've known her since Hook. She was Tinkerbell. But she was there for August Osage County. And I know she'd be shocked to see me. She's looking in the audience. So Flynn Pirates.
Yeah.
But, I've been getting a lot of that. And then Cool Gooding, when they did The Butler, I was there for his screening, sitting in the front row, and he pulled me up on stage. He goes, I was looking and looking, and I knew that's him right there, the Flynn Pirates. So I've been getting that, and I said, wow, this is kind of cool. I didn't know that Flynn Pirate was going to be as popular as he is.
Yeah, they don't call you by your name anymore, huh?
Yeah, now they recognize me as a Flynn Pirate first, and whoever else I am.
Oh, wow. That's so cool. Okay, I do want to go through some of the other projects that stood out to me. So, The Last Boy Scout, right?
The Last Boy Scout. That's Bruce Willis and Damon Wayne. We filmed it in the LA Coliseum. Tony Scott, he's known as the best action director there is. He's passed away now, rest in peace. But Tony Scott was a great director. And the technical advisor was A.C. Cowling. I don't know if you know who A.C. Cowling is, but I don't. He was the one that was driving O.J. Simpson around.
Okay.
But when this was going down, everybody in L.A., all the actors, everybody from Madonna, Bruce Willis, Demi Moore, everybody was running down the Coliseum. Mel Gibson was there to try to see this action film that he was setting up for these football teams. So I was telling you a little bit about that when I was in the Coliseum there. But yeah, that was a great night. It was a very exciting night because it was a star-packed Coliseum, and they simulated rain, and so we had a big football smash going on for, I think it lasted for about 4 weeks, 12-hour days. And if you think you love playing football, try doing it for 12-hour days.
Yeah, I was going to ask, is it harder doing it like that when it's, you're doing it for the film, or is it like when you're doing it for life?
By far.
Okay.
You get a break when you're, playing ball. You can go home and rest up, end of the night. But this was different because this was 12-hour days, and it was consistent. And then you got to match your spot and pick up where we left off, and it just goes on and on and on. And it seemed like there's no rest for that, So that was a little bit crazier than just the sport itself. Of course, something that I was very excited to do because, hey, it's just my thing, finally. But it turned out to be a lot more reckless than I thought it was.
Rain simulation. That's really cool. Okay. Okay, you fought some people you have, right? Like Chuck Norris?
Chuck Norris, Steve Seagal.
Yeah.
Chuck Norris in a film called Sidekicks. Steve Seagal, Mark for Death, and also on Deadly Ground. So 2 times he had in with him. But and Chuck was a really good guy. I like being with Chuck because, Chuck fought Bruce Lee, years ago. But I'm a boxer, not a martial artist. But they were telling me that's good enough. We wanted me, So I played one of the ninjas that got into a big fight with Chuck, and then we had the screening together, and that was really cool because he had his family was there with him, and he was reaching over to say hello and thank you for putting in all those hard hours with him. And that was up near Magic Mountain. That was about 6 weeks of hard training, hard work, But the action in it is very good. I would recommend it to everybody. Sidekicks has some great action. And it doesn't have so much CGI as some of the newer films do. So some of us who have done a lot of stunt work years back, are finding out that we're a rarity because there aren't so many guys who are actually doing all the action work anymore. It's a lot of CGI that's coming into effect, a lot of green screens and a lot of bungee cords and things like that. And we didn't use those. We were working.
Did you ever get nervous doing these stunts like that you're going to injure Chuck Norris or that you're going to injure yourself? Or I mean, you were a football player, so I assume it's not as bad,
As a wide receiver, I have been a little bit reckless, As a matter of fact, some people refer to me as a maniac.
Oh, okay.
Just have a bandana I swear into my helmet because it's a maniac. But yeah, I used to throw myself around with reckless abandon, and it took me a while to realize that I'm not totally invincible and I can't do everything anymore, especially when you get older and you start to feel it.
Yeah.
So I'm very thankful that I'm still walking and
Oh, you're fine. You're talking like if you were like 110 years old. Okay. Really interesting that you were in a Foo Fighters music video.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that?
This was last year. We got nominated for a Grammy.
Yeah.
For, Love Dies Young.
Yeah.
And it was a very cool setting because they brought in some of the Olympic swimmers. So Dave talked me into it. Dave Grohl, he called me and he said, listen, we really want you to do this part. So he wanted to play one of the judges that were judging the girls who were in the swim meet, which actually turned into the band, the Foo Fighters, who were doing the swim meet. So I got to spend the weekend with them, with all these Olympic swimmers. I was very impressed with these great athletes and the Foo Fighters, you know. So it was really cool to be there. And Dave is a really great guy. He turns out to be like your best friend after you've met him for a couple hours. You're, you know, really good friends and stuff. But I really admire his creativity because he set up the whole set for that. And then we got nominated for a Grammy. Something my bucket list. I never saw that coming.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't win. We won runner-up to Red Hot Chili Peppers, which was, you know, interesting. But we had a lot of fun making that. And then it was sad to lose Taylor Hawkins. I think we lost Taylor probably just a few months after we finished filming that. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Have you been to a show and ever, or when the music comes on, are you like, wow, I was in that? Like, yeah.
Yeah.
You're proud to be in that.
Well, for a while, I was trying to duck the video as much as I could.
Oh, really? Yeah.
You don't know how things are going to come out, but when it got nominated for a Grammy, then I said, oh, I can hold my head up a little bit about this, you know, but, you know, it was fun, doing a lot of laughs.
It was just a weekend, right? It was a weekend
Yeah,
shoot?
we laughed so hard. This was part during the pandemic, so we were outside and then inside the pool room, but, you know, we spent a lot of time outside until they get ready for the shoot. But I know that we laughed so hard at the end of it that, you know, it was fun for all of us that were walking around doing it.
That's incredible. And a Grammy nomination. Okay. Okay, I want to ask you if you have any advice for either athletes or actors, someone that wants to follow in your footsteps and do what you've been doing.
Well, here's what I learned. I learned that the persons who have the best opportunity to do a variety of type of work in film are comedians or people who do those type of interactions where they're pretending to be something else or talking in a different voice or something like that. Those are the ones who get the opportunity to do a variety of different types of work. But you really have to find out who you are. You have to depend on your own personal character. You have to be confident in your own character. And that's what you want to put out there. You want to put that on display because anybody's going to hire you. If you're a comedian, it's like, hey, we'll try me this, we'll try me that, we'll try that. But if you're just an actor, they want to see who you are and what you look like you can do. And once you establish that character, then you can market that character. And you can really open some doors that way. You know, once somebody knows you as the Flynn pirate or who you are, once they know who you are, then they want to hire you because, we're going to have him as part of this film. And the other thing is, if you always keep a lot of different irons in the fire, you know, keep something else going on. You know, you're writing, announcing, interviewing, or whatever you're doing, try to host a couple of shows, which Samuel Warren did for me when I hosted the San Diego Kids Film Festival. He called me and told me, hey, you want to come up, get your feet wet? Now's the time for you to come and host the show. So you learn a lot from those type of things on stage. You're doing a fine job right now.
Oh, thank you. I could learn from your hosting. You have more experience than I do. Okay, and then was there like so you got through a lot of your projects. You've done so many more. Bucks of America's coming out, right? Anything else that we can look out for or anything you wanted to?
I'm being cast in a few different series right now. I was cast in a series called Bust Down. And it's about guys who are working in Vegas in a warehouse, and then the pandemic happened and shut down, so they're trying to figure out some way to earn a living. But the lead actor in that, he passed, was Jack Knight, you know, young guy too. But it's a sad situation. We lost him, so that has been slow. But the one that I'm really interested in is Ratchet. Are you familiar with Ratchet? Ratchet is the story that came from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, where It was actually Nurse Ratchet, Jack Nicholson, was way back in the day. But they're now doing a miniseries, a series called Ratchet. And each episode is anything can happen. You're dealing with patients that are in a cycle ward.
Oh,
So I've been booked on that as in the war soldier with PTSD. You know, I'm really looking forward to doing that. You know, Sarah Paulson is the lead actress. You know, I remember her in 12 Years a Slave. I don't remember.
Yeah.
You know, she did that, and I'm very excited to be as part of that show. It's #1 on Netflix. And
That's exciting. So are you filming now, or is that?
No, we're waiting to go back on that.
Oh, okay.
But, like I said, when I first went down for the fitting, they gave me some incredible wardrobe. It's 1940s wardrobe, and I thought to myself, "Wait, you can't decide what I'm going to wear in this day?" And it's it's a reoccurring role. And I went, "Oh." Then somebody else came over to me and told me, "You know what the show's about?" And they explained it to me. So this is a great opportunity, you know. So, and then I played a biker on Mayans, the TV series Mayans. I'm seeing we had a big war going against the Sons of Anarchy. Started out with pipes, and then it went to knives, and then it went to M. By the time it finished, we were on M16s and AK-47s and stuff, you know. But that one's slow. That one's serious. I think it's wrapped. So, but I'm booked in about 4 or 5 other series, you know.
Yeah. Your IMDb says you've got a lot coming out in like the next year or so.
Yeah, and you know, the strike was long. The strike was long for all of us, but now that it's over, things are a little bit, you know, sketchy, but it's all going together.
Yeah, because it's pandemic, then strike, and then, you know, but yeah. But it's so cool that you're getting your own project out there, and you're in a couple of things, and I do want to see, do you have like a Instagram or somewhere we can follow you?
Yeah, I'm Flynn Pirate on Instagram.
Flynn Pirate, okay, it's stuck. It's really stuck.
Flynn Pirate, I believe Flynn Pirate. And and I use my regular name on Facebook, Robert Gatewood. And like I said, you can read the articles online about my film, Bucks of America, on Influential People magazine. As a matter of fact, they named it Influential Movie of the Year. And Hollywood Star in Paris magazine, you can actually go on that one. There's also Fitness Fashion magazine that's covered us a little bit. But quite a few places. If you just Google my name, Robert Gatewood, or Bucks of America, you'll run into, you know, all the things that we've been doing with this film and the awards that we've been picking up for. And I've been invited to a few more festivals. I'd like to get to the Cannes Film Festival.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, that's one of the main goals.
Yeah.
But I have some help going with that right now because I have some names that I don't want to mention. I can't mention right now.
Okay.
They'll start to come on board on Bucks of America, so we're excited about where that's going.
Yeah. So keep an eye out for your Instagram maybe post for that, and you can check out his IMDb. He's got so many credits, and it was such a pleasure to talk to you, Robert.
It's a pleasure to be here with you.
Yeah, then get to know about, you know, being a football player and stuntman, and now like director, actor. So yeah, thank you so much.
It's great hearing about your little brother playing football.
Yeah, we were talking about football and
more than
Los Alamitos High School, and then your son goes to
he's at Newport Harbor.
Yeah, we were talking more about football than the artistry, but, you know, it's all really cool. Okay. So thank you so much to the viewers for watching.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so you can watch us on Instagram, TikTok, on all our platforms, and thank you. See you next time.